Food and weight obsession can be exhausting. Losing weight, gaining weight, dieting, feeling like a failure because you missed a workout, binged, overate, or gained all the weight back. The cycle is endless and it can be maddening. But I'm here to say you can stop the mental madness. You can take back control of your food behaviors, but you have to face your fears, you have to ask for help, and make a change. I am Leslie M. Thornton, permanent weight loss coach from hpwl.co. This is hypnosis for permanent weight loss, and I know you can make this happen. On this podcast, you will hear how to stop the mental madness, love your body, trust your food decisions so you can create a life of happiness, freedom, and inner peace. I know it can feel embarrassing, even shameful, to actually say that the reason that you want to lose weight is to attract love, or maybe attract your current partner, your current husband, have better sex. It can feel like, well, I should say that I want to lose weight because of my health. And I should lose weight because I know that if I don't do this, then I could end up dying early or getting some kind of disease or fill in the blank. And I want to give you full permission to actually own for yourself that you are personally motivated to lose weight because you want to enhance love, find love, attract a partner, be in a romantic relationship. Now, I also know from working with people for so long that sometimes we are anti-love. And it's like, I don't want a relationship. I've had bad experiences. I don't want to take care of anyone. No. And if that's the case, first of all, I respect it. And usually, though, what is the quote? Thy who protests the most is most guilty, or something to that effect. So if we are super anti something, rather than just being neutrally decided, it can also just kind of be a little thing that you might want to, maybe there's a little tap, 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 like, hey, there might be some things here for me to look at. Now, we could have fears about being in a relationship, fears of intimacy, fears of having to feel the pain of rejection, or the fear of letting go of independence or freedom. All of those things are valid fears, concerns, and there's a lot of benefits to being in a relationship. There's a lot of benefits, a healthy relationship, having good health, having a good social life, having more experiences, to have just actual physical connection and touch is so good for the nervous system on a regular basis, right? The list goes on of the benefits of being in one. And for myself, I know that I definitely always wanted to have a relationship, and I actually was uncomfortable with being alone, and I had to face those fears and actually go on a relationship dry period and face some of those inner things so I could actually be ready for the right type of healthy love and relationship. So today's podcast episode, we're going to dive into that. I feel like this has been a long time coming podcast, and just share with you, as always, any of my clients' experiences without disclosing any names, any of my experiences in relationship to my weight loss journey and my achievement of healthy, secure love, which took a while to get to be able to better support you with whatever you're dealing with. So step one, full permission for you to actually own that you may want to lose weight for love. I see it happen all the time. I spoke to a woman just yesterday who is actually so beautifully open and honest with herself about that personal desire that she does in fact have. And again, there is so much power in owning it. There is nothing wrong with wanting that. And whatever personally motivates you to lose weight, whether that is health or it is freedom or it is whatever, that's okay. That's your truth. Just let it be the carrot that dangles in front of you to support you in having both dreams come true, if you will. And that's how motivation works. Find something that is personally motivating you, that inspires you into a future that you are compelled by. I personally, when it was came to healing my food and weight loss journey, relationship was involved in that motivation. I got to a place in my relationship, which I was familiar with, where I woke up one day and said, this isn't my person after all the time and investment that went into that relationship. And I knew that there had to be something within me that was kind of creating that same pattern over and over again. And simultaneously, that person that I was in a relationship with brought up a lot of my insecurities about my weight. And I realized that there was a part of me that was attracting my mother. And then I saw myself rebelling against that person, unconsciously my mother, by eating a lot and just saying kind of, forget it, I'm just going to eat. And right. And I know for a lot of people, like, end of relationship also brought weight loss, and anyway, there's just so much with emotions, psychology, and all the things in the background. Either way, I got to identify all of the underlying beliefs that I had about love and my body, and saw how much I was placing my worth as a human being into my weight. And I had achieved a very thin body, and by following a very strict diet for several years that took out anything fun you could imagine in your diet: alcohol, sugar, flour, snacking, like everything fun out. I don't recommend it, but it did create a skinny body. And you would think that that would then attract the most amazing, incredible person, right, in your life, maybe, because you're so attractive and we have these ties, these beliefs that skinny equals beautiful, beautiful equals attractive, attractive equals men might like me, or women, depending on your choice. So, yeah. What I actually found though was, because I was so much denying my own inner desires, my own truth about who I was and how I wanted to eat, and I was avoiding my inner emotions, my inner truth, my inner relationship with myself. I thought that I was honoring it, and I thought that following a super strict diet and getting really skinny was like a way to have a relationship with me and trust that that was what I needed at the time. But looking back at it now, it was very surface, and there was an avoidance of the underneath. And what I teach all the time is that dieting is an avoidance of what's underneath. Because if, when you are off a diet plan or any kind of specific regimen, you can't control your eating and you find yourself emotionally eating or etc., that is a telltale sign that there is an avoidance of emotions happening, right? So I always say that whether you are dieting or you are off your diet and emotionally eating or overeating, you are avoiding emotion. And until you learn how to be with emotion and be with these aspects of yourself that may not look so pretty or beautiful and may not want to see, you will continue to stay stuck. And I will add on top of that, you will continue to not have the most incredible relationship that's possible for you to have. Again, whether you're already in a good relationship, there's always room for it to be even better and great, or not in a relationship at all and deep down have a desire for that kind of connection. And again, we talked about just the avoidance, and that if you're a hard no on it, that also may be avoiding something. And you get to ask yourself those deeper questions like, okay, if I was avoiding relationship, what may that be about? And just the curiosity, just the permission to be curious can just oftentimes allow these beautiful things to emerge. And it can even get you to a space where you're just neutral. You know, if you are neutrally a no thank you to a relationship, that's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's just a sign that it's just your authentic truth. But if you are a hard no, right? That's again when we want to take a look. So avoidance of the things. So you may actually be preventing yourself from having love because of this. So the journey that I take my clients through, different than just quick weight loss. If you want quick weight loss, go for it. And I'm again sharing my experience of when I just was following that perfect protocol to lose the weight. I believe and know for myself that I got farther away from my goal of attracting in my most authentic, compatible partner for me. I found that I was attracting pretty surfacey men. I did get male attention for sure. And it was not the type of male attention that I wanted in regards to someone who is actually pursuing me for a really beautiful, healthy relationship. Doesn't mean that they weren't nice or good people. I always attracted nice people, but I actually didn't always attract good people. I ended up in two narcissistic relationships and they were extremely toxic. And again, it was me going in and doing the inner work of seeing what in me is attracting that type of really negative, nasty experience. And yep, when we choose to use these things, right? Our life and what's currently in our life is a mirror to what's going on inside ourselves. So I saw that since there was ugliness in personality and behavior outside of me that I was allowing into my space and it felt attractive to me somehow, that there was ugliness within me that I had not yet seen. And, this is where people get stuck in the, abuse cycle and they can't get out of it. And again, my whole thing is to help people not judge people if they're in any of those things or have attracted those things in the past. I get it. Been there. And not judge if they are still, what's the word? Still entertaining that type of relationship in your life. I was as well. And I knew it was toxic and I knew it was abusive. Not physically, not yet, but it was. And I equipped myself with the deep inner healing support so that I could naturally heal out of it and those things could fall away as they were meant to, and I could graduate, if you will, automatically to my next level. And it takes time. Okay, so again, that journey, not comfortable. None of my journey has been comfortable. Not too long ago, I was driving in the car. I was like, gosh, why is it always uncomfortable for me? But I was like, my life is out of my comfort zone, and it's a sign of growth and a desire for the best life ever. On Mother's Day, I was with my mom, and she was saying, like, Leslie, you've done so much, like you traveled, you lived all over the world, like you've done all this stuff. And it's like, yes. And I am so committed to a life full of experiences and making the most of every single day and, using my strengths and helping other people, to have what I have and get where I want to get and come with me to, experience all the things. Life is just amazing. I'm so into life. It's so cool. You only get one. My time working as a nurse just really presenced me to life and death. And, we have this body, right? This physical body that our beings get to live in and inhabit, right? And we can move and we can create and we can do and we can love and we can hug and we can see and experience and all the things. And it's like life goes quick. That's one thing I'm so grateful for about being so close to death with nursing was just, yeah. And so if there's a faster way for me to enjoy it more now, I'm going to do it, right? And I work with people who want that same type of experience. So, yeah, being skinny was not the answer to me attracting my partner that was really healthy and what I was looking for. And then when I went through that breakup and started eating, and binging, and simultaneously I was like, I gotta heal this food, body, and weight stuff. I can't diet like this anymore. And I actually saw that there was a way to do so. And again, hired coaching, and I had lots of high end support, educating myself and doing the work inside to, to be able to elevate, graduate to my next level. And you can too if you want. So I, started really excavating all the thoughts and beliefs. So one of them, when it came to dating, was that I believed that no man could ever be attracted to someone who was a bigger size. And if you have that belief, that's going to stop you from taking action. It's going to also force you to hyper fixate and obsess on losing the weight. And what I want you to know is that it actually is not true that no man is going to be attracted to you the way that you are. It's actually extremely false. I don't care what weight you are. And we have some evidence of that. If you've ever seen the My 600-Pound Life show, like a lot of times those people are partnered, they have relationships. Not saying that's the ideal scenario, not saying that those relationships are necessarily healthy. How could they be healthy if we're not healthy on the inside, emotionally, physically? But they are still in relationships. So there is someone for everyone. And for myself, it became this belief and knowing that if I'm not in my authentic self, if I'm not eating authentically in alignment with who I am and how I like to eat, if I don't know who I am and how I like to eat, then I can't be authentic. And if I'm not authentic, how could I meet my authentically right partner for me? I'll say that again. If you're not authentic, if you don't know how you authentically want to eat and what is aligned for you to have you live your best life now, not your life 20 years ago, your life now, how can you authentically attract in a partner who is the right match for you? So that was what motivated me to say, all right, well, then I got to find out how I authentically want to eat. I got to find out how my body authentically wants to live, if you will, or authentically wants to look with that way of eating being in alignment, which took a lot of time to really sift and sort through thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, habits, fears, anxieties, emotions that were all inside of my clinging to a diet, my clinging to my need to lose weight now and fast. So feel free to take that belief or one that resonates with you, like, and ask yourself, like, do you believe that there's something to say about you being authentically you and eating in alignment that's authentic to you, not the way you should eat or are supposed to eat or have to eat, but how you desire to eat, and learning how to be in alignment with that and the way that you desire to feel and learning how to live in alignment with that most of the time, or how to get yourself feeling that way most of the time. That mastering of those things, do you believe that that would attract your right partner? Do you believe that that would elevate your current relationship or marriage? My knowing is that if you are constantly worrying about your weight and you are anxious about weight gain and what you're eating, etc., your whoever you live with can feel it. It is stifling the ability to love as fully as you are able to. Because whatever you are thinking about is taking away your ability to be present. It is taking away your ability to be inside your body, which is where feminine energy lives. It is taking away your ability to feel your intuition, to feel and know how to communicate and be with emotion. And that is when like such beauty comes out. And again, that's such a process. And if you've had abusive situations in the past where you weren't safe to be imperfect with your emotionality, which I was in that scenario where I would question myself and my own thoughts and feelings and emotions, because if I imperfectly communicated any of them, that created a very negative reaction in my partner. And so, therefore, again, I started questioning myself, and then you're stifling your energy, and then you're overeating, and all of this type of thing. Now, it's not to say that I didn't have room for growth in my communication and knowing how to communicate in a way that made others feel good and able to reciprocate or give me what I needed. Absolutely, I've come a long way in that. But no one deserves reactions like that, regardless. No, everyone deserves to feel safe in your process of learning and your imperfections. So if you don't have that safe container, I just want to say, like, please know that it does exist. You do deserve to have it. And it's not healthy to have anyone react to you in a big negative way when you are simply just doing your best to communicate your truth. I wish I had someone to say that to me. I know that even if someone said that to me, I still would have stayed in those unhealthy environments because, again, I needed to fully evolve out of that dynamic. So I had a friend who, when I was putting on weight in my healing process out of diet mentality, which I gained weight first before I lost it. It's not the same for everyone, but since I started so thin, me learning how to authentically align to the way that I wanted to eat and move my body. Yeah, there was that process of introducing all the foods again and allowing myself to have and eat any food, and weight gain happened for me initially for that. When people come in on this journey and they're already, heavier, they oftentimes will lose weight in the process of this, or at least maintain until they start taking some different actions towards alignment. So, yes, I asked a friend who I know she got married when her weight was up, when she was overweight. And I said, how was dating when you were overweight? Did men find you attractive? And she said, oh my God, they thought that I was a fertility goddess. They couldn't keep their hands off me. And when I heard that, my jaw dropped to the floor, as maybe some of you can feel happening for yourself right now. It was such a brain busting idea that I had never heard before, that I literally thought was absolutely impossible. But since that was her experience and it did happen, then therefore what I was believing was not universally true. There were men who enjoyed and appreciated a woman who was bigger. Now, here's the other thing about that is, like, you can feel what it feels like to be around a woman who, as she's communicating with you, she's in her body. I would hope that maybe I am an example of that for you as well. I feel in my body as I am communicating this, and I believe that I am getting more in my body the more that I continue to do this work and create safety within. And or there might be somebody else in your life. Maybe you have like a matriarch in your family who's just like full of love and they're embodied and all of that. And so men, I just had a woman yesterday say to me that she feels like men have a sixth sense for when a woman feels secure or insecure within herself, and they are very attracted to that security. And I agree. I don't know any, research on that or anything, but I do feel like men are, men have those feelings about whether they're aware of them or not, of like what is the type of energy they want to be around. I mean, we all do, but like that is such an attractive force. There's a client in my program right now who she's like, I am just getting such a kick out of actually being willing to say that I like Pop Tarts and I like chocolate and I like, right? And it's like, if you're around a woman who is just like having an orgasm as she's drinking her amazing, rich, warm, hot chocolate, right? It's like there's something so magnetizing about that. But if you're with a woman who's like, oh, I can't eat that. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, no, 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 I'm gluten sensitive. Oh, no, I can't have that. Like, it doesn't feel the same. It feels a little bit like, oh, like, can't really relax in this energy. So, again, you're learning how to relax in your own energy, which is such an attractive force. So, again, it's really being sold on you and being sold on what you like, appreciate, maybe don't like. But again, it's from that neutral space, not from that like really, attached or intense, boundaried space, if you will. Yeah. So, anyway, I did get that reflection that people were attracted to me at my size. There was a fair amount of me having to fake confidence as I was healing that. And, pretend that I was confident in my body, but I did things to make sure that I felt good as I could, even though my body was bigger. I took all sorts of steps like that to, support myself to feel good where I was at, because the truth is we can't lose as much weight as we want to lose in a day. And we got to start somewhere, right? So unless you actually get out there and start dating, if that's the space that you're in, like you can't learn, right? And I always had coaches and people to like support me with what I was, learning, so that I wasn't, because I knew I couldn't trust my own intuition about who I was attracting. The jig was up in that, and that I needed to, I chose to hire people who had healthy, happy marriages and who had been through a similar process of learning how to actually receive a healthy, aligned, compatible man. So, yes, but men did find me attractive at my size. And, right now you might be judging and saying, like, oh, well, how big actually was she? But, I'm 5'2" and I got up to 170 pounds and I attracted a man at that size. That's not small. I definitely was showing the rolls through the clothes and feeling my butt dragging behind me, and definitely uncomfortable and bloated and not moving as well, and definitely feeling lethargic, like not pretty in my mind. And right, I was doing everything that I could to feel as best as I could given those circumstances as I was healing my relationship with food. Yeah, and then, just to fast forward to now, like I am in a very healthy, secure relationship. I'm very thankful. It's just, I'm safe to say anything. This person is emotionally intelligent enough to be with any communication and not have reactions. It's a, beautiful, safe container. And, we're there for each other. And, we have had the conversations to sort out compatibility, both of lifestyle compatibility as well as what we both want and timelines and these types of things, spirituality, faith, and even going down to just how we eat every day and how we socialize and how we travel and how often we travel and right? Like those conversations have been had over time. And yeah. But it took time, and it took a lot of me having to kiss many frogs that were not those. And it took a lot of intentional dating, where as soon as I noticed that there was something that wasn't a match for, like the compatibility was not there, of me acknowledging that and just, voicing like, hey, I'm just noticing that, and this is something that I know that I need, and you've mentioned this before, and so I just wanted to, see what you thought about that, as far as, like maybe we're not compatible in that area, and let them kind of let me know. And two times, when I did that, it was like, yeah, no, like that's not who I am. And so it took me to actually say no to that. Again, because I had the commitment of actually finding someone who they were all yeses to, and was going to lead to a long-term commitment that was capable of standing the test of time. Yeah, and that continues to support my emotional mastery and my healing and my, all the things. But none of that would have been possible if I didn't do this journey. I just said to my clients the other day, like, you could look at food and your weight loss journey as your greatest teacher. Like, consider the fact that you haven't figured it out yet is not a bad thing, and an opportunity to do the deeper dive, and again, use it as like that anytime your eating's off, of saying like, hey, something's going on deep within me that I can't see, that is actually causing me to eat in this way that I know isn't me. And that can just be so beautiful, because then it's just like, there's nothing, anytime that you have eating that's not in alignment, you can just say like, great, another opportunity to learn and heal and grow. And you can do the same with anything, right? You can even do that, with dating. And anytime there's a upset with dating or in your relationship, it's like, ooh, something else, that is rich for me to look at. Again, any triggers. So if you master understanding your triggers and what upsets you and what creates emotion, and and whatever, so naturally, if you master your emotions, you're going to master your life. Like, you're going to master relationships, because relationships have lots of emotions involved. And if you're not clear on what causes you to say things and do things and feel things, and you're dumping it on your partner, or, it's causing you to be controlling, or these things, which I totally did all of that, it is not going to have you have the end result that you're looking for. And so you get to choose from this space. And this is why I continue to just share these things, like, of education and awareness. There's always choice. You can continue to keep going and trying to figure it out on your own. And maybe, having a relationship that can stand the test of time is not anything you care about, and you just want to have fun, and that's fine. But if you're like me and you want to, have the best of the best, and, find sustainable, whatever, and you see value in that, then I want to let you know that this is the avenue. There isn't another avenue, actually. You cannot avoid doing the inner work, if this is what you want. And that's why it's a chosen, avenue and path. And I believe that we get to that space when we're ready. So hope this is helpful for you today. And if you like this and you want more on love and relationships and permanent weight loss, I could definitely share more. But I'm going to hop on to my next call, and see you for the next episode. If you are serious about taking action on your struggle with food, body, and weight, then this is for you. Go ahead and text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483. Immediately after texting that number, you will get access to our free training that will tell you why you can't figure the food, body, and weight thing out, why you can't keep weight off even after you've been successful in the past, and how to actually overcome it, including a mini hypnosis session at the end. weekend. Don't miss out. Text the word hypnosis to 855-BE-ALIVE. That's 855-232-5483.